people are leaving. Could you please ask them to wait so we can speak to a microphone?
We have to answer to our clients.
Are you the sound? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a producer. I've produced all the marches in Washington. Sir, what would it cost to keep you 10 more minutes?
I answer to my client, only to my client. I'm sorry.
Thank you all. Sir, please let me have the mic
I
for
have
10
a
minutes.
client,
Who's the client?
and I answer only to my client.
You do?
Yes.
No, I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak without a mic. All right?
Shh.
Everybody has said up here they stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. My name is Robin Tyler, and I came before most of the people that stood up here. So I'm sorry that they're not letting us have a microphone. I was here in two men were married in 1971, Baker and McConnell, and marriage was legal. In 1979, I produced the main stage for the March on Washington, and we stood in front of the tax department and said, tax us, marry us, unfair taxation to gay couples. In 1987, we produced the main stage, and we had a marriage ceremony. In 1993, and finally, Diane and I started to go to the courthouse every year in 2001. And in 2004, my union said that I couldn't get medical for Diane because we weren't married when I retired. So we sued for the right to marry. And that started the lawsuit in California. Yay. And all of the organizations said, don't sue. You're going to lose. How dare you sue? And we said, you know what? If you don't try, you don't win. So we won the right to marry. And we got married first, and then 18,000 couples got married, and then Prop 8 passed, and then we sued to overturn Prop 8, and we lost at the Supreme Court. But then these people picked it up yesterday, and they came to the Supreme Court, and everybody said to them, don't sue, don't sue. And Affer and Chad and the couples and the attorney said, don't tell us not to sue, because if we don't sue, we lose automatically, and they had the courage to sue. So they sued. And we went to court yesterday, and I want to tell you what nobody else tells you. I thought the court was so demeaning to our community yesterday. They were terrible to us. The conservative justices said, well, this is just an experiment, and how do we know what's going to happen? We are not an experiment. Woo! We are a civil rights movement. Yeah. And then they said, well, you're no longer this movement. Getting married is not older for same-sex couples than the internet or than cell phones. So then they compared us to the internet and to cell phones. How dare they? And I walked out yesterday and I came down here and they said you can't speak even though you were the initial couple to start it because we haven't listed you as speakers. So they would not let us speak yesterday. So I went over there to all the cameras and didn't wait my turn. And I said to C-SPAN, we're really upset and we're not going to take it. And we're a civil rights movement. And that Supreme Court yesterday was horrible to us. And C-SPAN carried the remarks. Today they were better. Today the justices against us had nothing to fall back on. All they said was, well, I will introduce you. They're taking the stage. Go ahead, take the stage. I follow it. If they said today, this is their only reason. They said today, well, if we give DOMA to the couples, if we eliminate it and give federal marriage benefits to the couples in New York or the married couples in California, and they move to
Let's hear from Edie!
Yay! Edie Windsor! All right. I just want to...
Done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is our attorney who started the case, Gloria Allred.
I just want to say very quickly about this morning. I was very encouraged by Justice Kagan, who asked about the interest of the federal government and why they would pass DOMA. And the federal government was trying to
No, you can't hold it.
Was trying to suggest there was a need for uniformity. And Justice Kagan said, could it be that Congress instead was passing DOMA because of their dislike, their fear, their animus to a group? And we know which group we're talking about, don't we, all of you? And I agree with those who believe that that was the reason that Congress passed DOMA. That's what I'm saying.
Discrimination.
And Justice Kagan said that statute, meaning DOMA, sends out a red flag about what was really going on when DOMA was passed. Don't you agree? And Justice Kagan said that wasn't Congress expressing their moral disapproval of homosexuality? Isn't that what the House report said? Isn't that what the House was trying to do? I agree, that's what the House was trying to do, and it was wrong. Marriage is a fundamental right. The United States Supreme Court has said that over and over again. It means nothing unless you can marry the person of your choice, and that is why we're here. If Robin and Diane and thousands of other couples were able to get married in their states, and they cannot enjoy all of the rights of marriage, like federal benefits that are prohibited by DOMA, and we want DOMA overturned. The gay and lesbian community has suffered a history of discrimination. You have been shut out. You have been locked out. You have been denied your rights as citizens of this United States. You have been discriminated against. You have been spat at. You have been assaulted, and you have been killed. It's wrong, and it's time for the United States Supreme Court to stand up for equal protection for people who are gay and lesbian and want to be in a loving relationship. We're going to continue to fight to end this discrimination. We love you all.
The day of decision, go back to your state and organize. And when the Supreme Court decision comes down, you know, after Prop 8 passed, tens of thousands of us stayed in the streets in California. The day of decision, go back to your states and your cities and go back and organize starting now. When the decision is made, hundreds of thousands of us will be out, and good or bad, they're going to hear from this community, and they won't stop hearing from this community. Thank you very much.